Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking more about British English slang in part 3 here, comparing English and Russian. I haven't translated these words into Russian this time, but I know the equivalents of some of them. But I'll explain everything as we go through step by step. Let's start here in number 1 with fit. You probably know this word in the literal meaning, in the dictionary definition, to mean physically healthy, right? Like a sports person or an athlete, someone who goes to the gym on a regular basis. Fit in slang means sexy, attractive, or someone that you fancy. Now, we talked about this word before. Fancy in colloquial English means to want. So if you fancy someone, it means literally that you want them, right? Or I can equally say, do you fancy a pint later, right? Do you fancy a pint means do you want to have a drink with me later down the pub? So this is quite often used. You could say something like, fit bird, she's a really fit bird. There were loads of fit birds out last night, right? Again, bird we talked about before. It's kind of like Russian tyorka. Not a particularly nice word to call a woman, but often used by men in discussions amongst themselves. So yeah, we could say fit bird, or equally you could say it about a man, you could say he's really fit. If you're a woman, you fancy a man. Number 2, this is region specific, so I'm not sure that they use this in London, but in the north of the country we definitely use right or rate with different pronunciations, or well, to mean very or really. So going back to our example of the fit bird, I could equally say she's a well-fit bird. So she's very good looking, or she's very attractive. So she's well fit, or she's rate fit, or she's right fit, which would mean she's really or she's very. Number 3 here, minted. This comes from the word mint, which is the place where they make the currency, where they make the money. So you're minted, or you're loaded, right? Like gruz, load, right? Heavy load. You're loaded down with the money. So if you're minted or you're loaded, you've got loads of cash, or you've got you're rich. Number 4 is the opposite of this. You're skint, or you're skinted. So you could say, I'm not coming down the pub on Friday. I'm skint, means I don't have any money. I'm poor at the moment, I'm broke. Number 5, chav. This is a relatively new word in British English. When I was a teenager, I think we said townie, because this word refers to something like gopniki, like youths, young people who are not very educated, who behave in an antisocial manner. The reason why we called them townie before is because they spent time in town, which is the city centre, wearing tracksuits, wearing Adidas, maybe drinking, smoking, low-level education, antisocial behaviour. This is a stereotypical group. So now we call them chavs, chav. 6, cheesy or naff. I think cheesy is probably more popular. From the word cheese, so if you say something like absolute cheese, if you're talking about film and said, oh, that film's cheesy, it would mean that it was vulgar, or it was in bad taste, it was, banalny, not interesting, kind of cliched, too many cliches, right? So that's quite a common one that we use, cheesy. Number 7 here, these are alternative words for toilet. So toilet is the standard word that we use, but we can say bog, which is not the same as Russian bog, which is God, right? It's just a coincidence, strange. Bog in English literally means balota, but bog is an alternative word for toilet, it's a slang word. Or if you want something that's a little bit ruder maybe, shitter, from the word shit, it's a place where you go to take a shit, I suppose. Number 8, skank. This has a different meaning in American English, which I think means some kind of whore, maybe. I think it refers to women's sexual behaviour, or a woman who's not particularly desirable. In British English, when we say skank, we mean to cheat someone, so we can use it as a verb. I know I got skanked the other week. The guy said he would give me my £20 back, and he didn't do that. So he skanked me, he took my money, he cheated me. You can also use it to refer to a person as a noun. So you could say he's a skank, like he's a cheater, he's dishonest, he always takes your money, never gives it back. Or you can say, as a verb again, you can say, can I skank a cigarette? And it means, can I have a cigarette? Can I go borrow one? I think we talked about ciggies before and crashing a tab and so on, so we have other slang that's connected with that. But skanking is getting something for free, possibly in a dishonest manner. Number 9, shag. This is an informal word for to have sex with someone. It's not particularly rude, not like the F word, obviously, so not as rude as that. But we can use it in interesting situations like shagged out. Last time I think we talked about being knackered. So if you're knackered, it means you're very, very tired. And we could equally say, oh, I'm shagged out. So on Friday after work, you say, oh, I'm shagged out, I fancy a pint, right? And the final one here today, we can talk about number 10. Meat market. This is quite a funny one. This is about nightclubs when there are lots of available people of the opposite sex. So you might say, I don't know, went to a club last night, it was a meat market. So there were lots of available women, lots of fit birds, or lots of fit blokes, lots of fit men, depending on what you're into. Okay, that's it. So we'll have more on British English slang in the future, but for now, learn this. Any questions? Put it in the comments. Cheers, bye.